you beautiful people, Aaron here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at Layla, my video specifically about her, and how I might have drastically oversold her. So yeah, we're talking about this failure. We're talking about what she actually does. We're talking about everything. I want to get this out of the way because there is some exciting leaks on the horizon. Or sorry, exciting, I don't know, speculations. What is the quote unquote correct term for me to call that? I have no idea. But let's get started with this. We'll see possibly my biggest blunder, possibly second, somewhere tied with Nilo in the theory crafting department. So let's get into it. But as always, before we do, if you like this, remember, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. It really helps me out. And yeah, let's get into it. Her C2 continues with insane buffs to Layla, as each star that hits an enemy from her skill will restore 1 energy to Layla. This constellation will lower her energy requirement by about 9, which is crazy good. Okay, so let's talk about her constellations. I overhyped her constellations a lot. This is a pattern throughout the entire video. I overhype everything that she does quite a lot. I put a lot of emphasis on her constellations because they do make a difference, but her only one that really like stands out is her C4, but her C4 is just not a great buffing ability because you're only going to get like about 3, which is good for like a Ganyu, but like for someone like Yoimiya, that doesn't matter. For someone like Hu Tao, that's really good, but like it's okay. Her C1 is really good for like base damage absorption, but that's about it. It offers a little bit of leeway. It's okay. It's just an okay constellation. Her C2, it does help with her energy generation, but at the point that I'm at, like right now with her, where I only have like 180 and a Favonius, I don't struggle with energy generation. Like even now, she just doesn't struggle with energy generation. So it mainly just incentivizes you to build more damage into her, which she outputs not a good amount of damage. It's like okay, but that is something that I've noticed that her entire kit and constellations incentivize heavily, and building her into like full damage is, I've been finding, generally better in the situations where she's one of the best options. I found that building damage is definitely the better way to go. Her entire damage output is not large enough, and the difference isn't drastic enough to warrant the use of putting a 5-star weapon on her like Jade Cutter, but just going something simple like Harbinger of Dawn is really good. But that's something that like I now see with her constellations. They're really just minor buffs, and they incentivize you to build more damage into her. Both of these characters seem almost one-to-one in strength, but for different reasons. Diona offers a weaker shield, but more convenience with it, as well as ways to make up for the weaker shield in her elemental burst. The cryo application is also very similar, as Layla has barrages for a single target, while Diona has a burst for a single target, but also an AoE for most of the time. So I'm gonna stop there. We're gonna go back. We're gonna look at Layla. Look at her. She's stinging that bubble. So Layla's utility, one of them is only with a constellation, and one of them is only if, no, 2 of them, 3 of them, I guess all of them are only if her shield is active. Basically, all of those disappear if her shield breaks, which sucks. However, they can be worked around, like for instance with Jing Shou, who reduces the damage you take. That is really good. He's going to be able to stop a lot of incoming damage and is just going to make you absurdly tanky. And then another thing that helps with it is freeze comps. Freeze comps make it so that her shield is always up, which is another reason why you would want to build into full damage. Because in a freeze comp where she is strong, no one's going to be hurting your shield. Just straight out, no one's hurting your shield. And if they do, you're just gonna like run away. You're gonna freeze them in like a second anyway, so it doesn't matter. So while these buffs do just disappear completely, if you're just like running her in any old comp and her shield just happens to break, there are ways to counteract it. Another way is to straight up just kill the enemy. However, one of the things that stinks about Layla is that she does not offer utility to help kill the enemy. I do wish I realized this sooner. I feel like I had that in like the back of my mind, but I was like, she's a tank, you know, her shield's not gonna break. It's broken. It's like on par with Zhongli's. Like it's only like a bit worse, which is the case. But Zhongli offers like so much more. He offers so much more, and he's usable in every single situation, but he's a 5-star. The thing with Diona and saying that they're one-to-one, it's kind of the case. I feel like they are one-to-one in a lot of situations, but once Diona gets to C6, she becomes straight up just better in a majority of situations, especially if you build Noblesse on her. She is offering with her burst 200 elemental mastery and also, what is it, 20% attack? Yeah, it's 20% attack. That's a lot of buffs. While they are one-to-one, Diona just does it better at C6. That's what I've noticed, because she offers just so much more utility and so much better utility too, whereas Layla's just like a shield bot. For her stats, you mainly mainly want to focus on getting a lot of HP. But how much HP, you may ask? Literally all the HP. Okay, as I have said before, I disagree with this. Again, while building her like as a full shield bot is fine, I feel like building her like more full damage is going to be fine, because in the places that she is good, she's not going to be like taking a lot of damage. And in those situations, you're mainly using her shield as like a safety net, you know, rather than using her as a shield bot, which is like the difference between her and Rosaria, because Rosaria outputs a lot more damage, but Layla is able to protect her team, at least a little bit. Rosaria also has stronger buffs and like whatnot, but you know. So instead of this, I would recommend more like 30,000 HP, about that. And I feel like that ER is like fine. Before her C2, I feel like up to about 180% ER is fine. Definitely not higher. You don't need higher. I don't agree with this anymore. I definitely do think that instead it should just be HP, cryo damage, and then crit. This just looks wrong to me. Those who might not have wanted to use Layla before now can with extreme effect. So with these ladies in particular, I think that these are the ones that she is strongest with. With Yoimiya, she vapes mostly. And against the boss, she's still going to vape because, you know, they can't be frozen. So she's not really going to get melts. Layla will get some melts. Thank God. Bless her kind soul. She doesn't need those melts, but she will be getting some. But Yoimiya will be getting her own melts when the target is actually frozen. So it is actually kind of good to pair them together. Hu Tao will be getting a lot. She actually works really well with Layla, and not better than Zhongli. I would say that Yoimiya and Hu Tao are definitely better with Zhongli, because I mean, like, he offers resistance shred. How could he not be better? What does she offer? Like nothing. She offers some melts and then like a buff at C4, which helps her out a little bit. With Yoimiya, specifically, I tested out a few teams for her in my lonesome, and she is okay with Layla. It's not amazing. My Layla is only at C0, so I can't test with C4, but I have compared her against Zhongli using two teams with Zhongli and one for Layla. The one for Layla is with a Hydro Core of Jingshou and Yelan, and then the two teams with Zhongli is with the Hydro Core, and then another one with Yelan and Genshin, a triple Y comp. And in doing these tests, I found that generally Layla is behind both of them. Even when built as like a DPS, she really just does not offer enough. She's not good enough, and she doesn't do much. However, this was like against the boss, so Yoimiya wasn't getting any melts, which would have helped a bit more. With that to consider, she's not too far behind the other two comps. She's off by like 30 frames, so against like reasonable targets, she will be better. She'll actually be good. And then with her C4, that's like a little bump up to help a little bit too. I also busted out my Hu Tao, who I never do. I never play Hu Tao. I don't like Hu Tao, but I busted her out just to test. I just took like Yoimiya's artifacts. They were actually like pretty good. I think I found a Sans that had elemental mastery, crit damage, crit rate, and like HP, and then energy recharge too. So she wasn't even on like a Crimson, which she was on Shimano's. And the thing like about her, oh my god, I fought that stupid frog, and I tried with Layla multiple times on getting like a good time and like seeing the highest time that I could get. It was never like really high, and I could never kill the frog. However, with Zhongli, my first try, I like one hit the damn thing. So it's easy to say Zhongli's just straight up better with Hu Tao. However, Zhongli doesn't have access to an elemental mastery boosting weapon, and elemental mastery is like Hu Tao's favorite stat, even over HP, whereas Layla actually does have an elemental mastery boosting weapon. Too bad that it is a 5-star. That sucks. But you'll notice that I put her with a double Hydro Core, and that's because I feel like that's where she works really well with. I didn't mention it here. I should have. Jingshou, incredibly good with her. Allows her to play more offensively rather than defensively. Great. But then also Yelan. And Yelan Jingshou is just an amazing core, and Layla fits perfectly into that. Do they benefit from her? No. But she benefits with them. So it's not the most overpowered thing, because, you know, Layla's not giving them anything, but she's getting a lot from them. She benefits highly, and then she also gets the Hydro Resonance, which increases her HP, making her tankier, which then allows her to build more into crit rate and crit damage and just a lot more damage. It's just good. I feel like that is her bread and butter with the Hydro Core in Ape teams or in Freeze. She's like a Freeze Zhongli, and in those teams, she's like a mixture between Kokomi, and at C4, she has like a bit of Shenhe elements to her, which is okay. It's mainly beneficial for Ganyu, because Ganyu would get rid of Shenhe's stacks like so easily with her burst, and probably a hit. Like, it's not very great. Whereas Layla offers a lot of defense or a good amount of damage. Like, I really do stand by, where is it? What I say over here, which we haven't gotten to yet. Where is it? Here. This team comp. This team comp is better. Layla specifically benefits from freeze. And then, like I said before, it also makes it so that she can build more into damage, which then leads to higher damage output, which is her main issue. The fact that she has like little damage. It's just, it is her best team comp. It is with freeze. Whether you're vaping with freeze or whether you're just going full freeze, that's generally what you're going to want to do with her. She is specifically a freeze support, and that's what I found. Combo. So how does Layla look? Well, pretty damn overpowered, if I do say so myself. I completely disagree. She's not even close to overpowered, and I'm kind of cringing at the fact that I called her overpowered. The type of person to say that in the video. Oh god. Yeah, sure, but in a video, I give it to you straight how I expect a character to. Oh god, I'm cringing. Oh, Jesus. Performing game. And in this situation, Layla has mostly pros and barely any cons. Layla has a lot of cons. Her largest con is the fact that she offers no aim damage impact. And what she does offer is inconsistent or low. And that's it. That's why she's not that great, because she just doesn't buff. She needs to buff. And characters that can buff either with their elemental application, which she does a little bit, but if she was a catalyst user, she would be amazing. But she just doesn't buff. She's gotta buff. The areas that she is really good at is defensive. She is absurdly strong in the defensive department. So she is very good for those people who struggle with dodging. They just don't get like correct mechanics and whatnot. And those who just can't. Or a mobile player. Have you ever tried playing on mobile? It sucks. I have. I sometimes do. Mainly because I'm out. I'm just like, my commissions. I forgot to do those. And then I'm in like Walmart doing my commissions. It sucks. It sucks playing a mobile. And a character like her is really good for that, because you don't need to practice dodging. You don't need to worry about like lag and whatnot. It's just, she's strong shield. But if you have a Zhongli, she's not even an upgrade. She's not even good. She's just smacked right in the face. She's not great. With all the talk of reverse power creep being thrown out into the game, we have decided with this one to do the opposite and offer up an absurdly strong 5-star supportive unit under the guise of a 4-star. This character. Oh, that hurt to listen to. Oh, just Jesus. That just hurt. I just need some time. It really just hurt me. I just need some time. Just calm myself down, you know? It's like watching a car crash. You need to like recover after. The level of power this astrologist holds seems to be on the same level as the 4 stars we got back toward the launch of the game. Oh, the car crash continues. If I'm being honest, it's about goddamn time. I think that it is about goddamn time that we got like a character that is not garbage. Because she's not garbage. I think I have been saying that she's kind of useless. She kind of is if you know your mechanics, but then again, so is Zhongli, unless you're using like an element that's not like pyro, cryo, hydro, electro, or dendro. You know, like if you're using geo, animo, or physical, he is still a very valuable pick. But like, she's not like a Toma. You know, I think I was especially excited at that fact that she's not Homa. Like, we have gotten a lot of characters in the past that were just bad, like straight up bad, or just absurdly niche. Like, that was basically all of Inazuma. All of the Inazuma 4 stars were just bad or niche. And it was just really bad. Like, I have no idea why they did that. Like, you can't just have one that is a general pick and is pretty good? No? Okay. Layla is a step up from that. She's a generalist pick that is just okay, but she also has specializations where she becomes a little bit more than okay. Just like okay plus. Like, not great, not even good. Okay plus. She just struggles. I think I overhyped myself because I think I was just so excited that we weren't getting another like Toma, another Sayu, another, I don't know, stuff like that. She looked good and I got excited. She just looked like a better Toma, in which case she is 1,000% better, but 1,000% is 10 times better, and 10 times better than 0 is still 0. You know, so it's not great. She's not great. I really wish that I didn't oversell it because I feel like a fool now. I mean, obviously I overhyped a freaking 4-star that turned out to be like just mediocre, but like even just mediocre is better than what we were getting getting before. And I am honestly still glad. I am still glad. Like, even with Faruzan, she still is like, she might just still be like mediocre outside of her Onision at C6, but like she's still not garbage. She's not hot garbage. And it feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good. So yeah, a lot of this feels wrong. Obviously there's good information, but my perspective was off. Stat requirements? No. Stat requirements are no. I did a good job, I think, everywhere else, other than the fact that I overhyped myself to such an absurd degree. That was here too. I was pretty okay. It was okay. It was just okay. I think that these are her best supporting characters, but then also the double hydro core. Yeah, I did okay on certain things. I don't think I nailed anything on her though. I nailed this. I nailed the numbers. But then again, how can you debate 1 + 1, right? But yeah, this is something that I'm not like, this video is not something that holds up well, and I'm not super proud of. It sucks that this is, I think, my second most viewed video. I think my first one, I also kind of make a fool out of myself. But hey, that's what's popular with the kids. Should I rate myself? Could rate myself and like how well I did out of like 5 stars. That could be fun. You know what? I'll do that. I was pretty average in like a lot of situations. I completely overhyped certain things, and I pushed a build that I completely disagree with now. It's definitely between 1.5 to 2 stars. That's what I'm floating around. I didn't do great, not one bit, but hey, you win some, you lose some. But that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye bye.